Ready, Jim?
Yep, I'm ready.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Delhi Township Board of Trustees meeting for Wednesday, September the 24th. We will start the meeting with a Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. You know, at our last meeting, which was September 10th, we kind of got thrown for a loop by the cruel and unnecessary assassination that also occurred on September the 10th. And I had really planned to have a remembrance that day for September the 11th. But you know what? It doesn't make any difference what the date is. We still need to remember those who died on September the 11th. And that was 2,996 people. That's including those who died in the towers, those who died on the ground, those who were in the airlines at the time. And unfortunately, that number continues to grow because of the health effects of those who were witness or, worked that day at the towers. So our moment of silence is a remembrance of September the 11th. And thank you for that. Thank you for the understanding that we got thrown a little bit of a curveball on September the 10th. So we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by this moment of silence for September the 11th. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Mr. Luby, we have an approval of minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting on September 10th, 2025.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved.
Motion to approve overtime for pay period ending September 16th, 2025.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve bills for payment.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Yes.
Motion approved. Report from our fiscal officer, Mr. Luby.
Significant transactions since our last meeting. Our payroll in 9/11 was $396,000. We also had a disbursement for a police vehicle for $42,000. As far as deposits, we received $28,000 for 3.5 months rent for the admin building. And we received $19,000 for the permissive motor vehicle license tax and $62,000 for the local government distribution and gasoline tax. That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Luby. Trustee correspondence. Trustee Sturts?
Yes. If you missed Saturday, our Touch a Truck, maybe our department heads will touch base on that later. It was absolutely fantastic. It was a beautiful day, very hot, but a beautiful day. I think everybody that came, and it was very well attended, enjoyed themselves. And it was just a great community effort and department effort, and I want to thank all of you for the extra effort and all the employees that put in that day to be here. But again, it was wonderful. Sorry you missed it. Do it again next year, and hopefully you all attend. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I want to make everyone aware of a new addition to the website, and this is a complete journal of Delhi Township's Community Resource Guide. And in this, you're going to find services, you're going to find medical resources, dental resources, religious resources. So this is all now new on the website for Delhi Township. So take a look at that. That's all I have. We can now move on. I have a very special presentation. We have a special guest tonight, and this is the Hamilton County Auditor, Jessica Miranda. Thank you, Jessica.
Let me push it on. That would be a start. Thank you, sir. Good evening, honorable trustees, administration of the wonderful Delhi Township here. I am honored to be with you tonight, and I thank you dearly for the time that you have allowed me on your agenda this evening. I know you have a lot of important work to do here in the township, but what we are doing in the auditor's office, as you know, there's a new auditor in town, myself. And I wanted to make sure that not only going around to every political subdivision is important for me to introduce myself, especially to those I did not represent in the State House, But it is also very important to remind everyone what the county auditor's office does for our county and our shared constituencies. And even in our presentation tonight, we have a little bit of what we don't do. And I am very open to questions at the end of the presentation. If anyone has them, or if you have them along the way, feel free to raise your hand and interrupt me. But for everyone who is here around the dais, you all have a printout copy of the presentation that is up on the screen. You also have our brochure that has enclosed within it everything that we do in the auditor's office, as well as my business card and Willow's business card, who is here with me today, who created this beautiful presentation for the auditor's office. This is Willow Lopez. She is our community engagement coordinator for the auditor's office, and I'm happy to say that for the first time in county history, your county auditor's office has a public affairs department. So it is comprised of two people, Willow and her boss, Connor Morton, who is the director of public affairs. And we're really proud of that because that allows me the opportunity to get out here in the community, connect with you, my fellow elected officials, and the administration of townships, cities, and villages all over our great county. So with that, I'm going to get right into it. Here we go. So I, of course, am Jessica Miranda, your new county auditor. I've been in this position since I was appointed in April of 2024, so a little over a year now. Prior to that, I served 5.5 years in the Ohio State House as a state representative for District 28, which encompasses most of the northern suburbs here in Hamilton County there on the Brim. And my fun joke is 5.5 years in the State House in human years really feels like about 50.5 years. So my hair's not that gray yet, but I'm looking forward to the salt and pepper, and I know every single one of those will come from that time serving in the state capitol. Prior to that, working in the state capitol, I served in my local board of education. I was the president for the Winton Woods City School Board. So all of this to say, I have a very well-rounded, complex understanding of both our local government funding, our school funding, and now as the auditor, the way in which we get our property tax liability formulas and everything in between. So very happy to be here to give you this presentation tonight. And what I'm going to start with is what the auditor's responsibilities are. So the easiest way to think of your county auditor is to think of us as the county's CFO, the Chief Financial Officer. We pay all of the county's bills, every department that is wrapped up underneath the Board of County Commissioners. We pay all of those bills. We are also the payroll agent for the county's over 5,000 employees. We are the real property assessor here in Hamilton County, and Hamilton County is the third largest county in the state out of all 88. So as you could imagine, we have a lot of properties to assess statutorily on the schedule that the state prescribes to us. We have about 350,000 parcels that we are charged with assessing every year, but most importantly, every 3 and 6 years. That includes residential properties, industrial properties, and commercial properties across the county. We are also 1/3 of the county's Board of Revision process. You all probably know, but just for the folks watching at home and in the audience, the County Board of Revision is the process for which you can file a complaint and contest the value of your home if you do not agree with that which the auditor has given you. We are also 1/3 of the County Budget Commission. You all are probably familiar with the County Budget Commission. You probably interact with our staff there a lot, so thank you for the work you do in making sure the books are in order here in Delhi Township. And if there's anything else we can assist you with, I know our team is phenomenal. A lot of the folks in our finance department down in the auditor's office have been there for decades, so they know what they're doing. They're very hardworking civil servants, but if you ever need anything, please know that I run a very tight ship on an open door policy, so please reach out to me or any one of us in the auditor's office at any time. We also are the administrator for a couple different programs under state statute. First one I want to talk about is the rental registration program. So fun fact, it is the law here in the state of Ohio. If you are a landlord, you are to file a rental registration form with the county auditor's office. If you come across any properties here in the township that do not have that on file, please reach out to us and we will work with you as a partner to make sure that the proper lawful paperwork is filled out and on file in our office. And under any parcel or property in the county, county, you can clearly see whether or not that does have an active rental registration form on file. We have 2 property tax relief programs that we administer through the state statute. One, of course, is the homestead exemption program. This is a tax credit for seniors 65 and older, and unfortunately, due to law changes, policy changes over the past decade or so, there's now an income cap attached to that. So I'll talk about this in a few of the later slides, but suffice it to say, the homestead exemption could be so much more than it is today, and I talked to our local lawmakers more than they would like, probably, to stump for the bills that are in the State House right now to change that. And then we also administer the owner occupancy credit. The owner occupancy credit right now in the state of Ohio is a 2.5% credit if you own and live in your home, or in other words, if your home is your primary residence. You get that automatic off the top 2.5% property tax relief. Something fun we do in our office is the dog licensing of the county. You may not know, but the dog warden helps our county out to make sure dogs get find homes, get back to their homes when they are lost. But what we do in the county auditor's office is we issue the actual dog licenses. This seems, one of the lesser important things we do, but I'm here to tell you that it is so important. You've seen the stories of the past 11 months or so of the dog bites that have been happening across the county. When dogs are licensed, it creates a safer space for not only our community, but our canine friends. And if your canine friend ever gets lost, what's the easiest way we have to get them back to you? Your information registered on that dog license. So you will see a push from the auditor's office here in the next couple months and onward to try to make a concertable effort to get more of the dogs licensed here in the county, because I'm sure all of the dogs in the county are not licensed, and we'd like to change that and get those numbers higher. And then, possibly one of my favorite portions of what we do as the county auditor's office is what I like to call the consumer protection arm of our office, which is the weights and measures department. If you ever go to pump your gas, you'll notice that my seal is on all of the gas pumps throughout the county. We have about 5,000 different gas pumps in the county, or stations rather, and my team is out there checking them, making sure that the gallon of gas that you are getting is actually a gallon of gas. Also in the grocery store, if you go to your deli counter and you'll see my seal on all of the weights and measures for your deli meats and cheeses, we're making sure that seal is on there and that machine is giving you the pound of turkey that you are purchasing. So we have a mighty team of 3 in our weights and measures department who go across this entire county every single day to make sure that every consumer is protected under the bandwidth of our office. And then, of course, we have a plethora of other duties assigned to us by statute that you can find in that wonderful book of Ohio's Laws and Administrative Guidelines. I forgot I was clicking for a second. All right, so a couple things that we've done as of late. You already know that I'm doing my auditor, pun intended. We're touring the entire county, stopping at fine local jurisdictions like yourselves to give this presentation and to get more acquainted with the local elected officials as well, because something you will learn about me as a public servant and political leader is that I take very seriously the relationship between different levels of government. I learned that back from being a Board of Education president and then serving time in the State House. It is very, very important to build these relationships between our local governments, county governments, and state governments so that we can all serve our shared constituencies to the best of our capability. So this will not be the last time you see me. Please call if you need anything or send me an email. You have my card. The Top Dog program is the program that we're going to be working on here soon. We have approached a couple different 4th grade classrooms across the county and are partnering with some teachers and some school buildings to get our kids writing essays about why they think their dog should be the top dog in the county. And we're going to make fun gold dog licenses and give out a Top Dog Award every year in hopes not only to educate the younger generation of why dog licensing is so important, but to get their families involved and get some conversation about the importance of dog licenses across the county. And then we just held our forfeited land sale a couple weeks ago on September 9th. If you don't know, any property or piece of land that doesn't otherwise sell at a sheriff's auction here in the county, it then gets given to us, the county auditor, and we have to hold every 2 years what's called a forfeited land sale. And I'm happy to report that our forfeited land sale this year yielded the best return in terms of parcels that we got rid of and sold to somebody. I think we were almost at 80 to 90% closure of those properties. So we have a local sheriff's deputy that comes out and helps us do that auction. And it was great for me to see that for the first time and learn all of the ways in which we can make that better for the next biennium sale. So with that, we serve the community, but of course we do not do it all. We do not collect the property taxes here in the county. That's our county treasurer, Jill Schiller. We do not manage deeds. That's our county recorder, Scott Crawley. We do not provide surveys and maps. That's our county engineer, Mr. Beck. And we certainly don't make abatement or tax policy. That is, of course, you fine elected folks here in the township and the cities and villages across our county, combined with the state lawmakers up there in the state capitol. So in the auditor's office, one thing I want to point out that is so very important to the work that we do is the fact that we work in values. We do not work in taxes. We can certainly assist homeowners across the county with questions on their tax liability, but we do not set those rates, as previously mentioned. So just because your property or your house, your parcel value moves up or down 5%, that does not necessarily mean that your tax liability will follow that up or down 5%. And to further explain that, we have pulled here a 3-area comparison for 3 areas around our county. So you'll see the city of Cincinnati, Green Township, your neighbor, and the city of Sharonville. Notice each one of these parcels, these are real properties within the county, each parcel at about a market value of $236,000. And then you look down there at the green line, notice in the city of Cincinnati, that parcel value's current tax liability or property tax bill is a little over $5,000. That same parcel value in Green Township is a little over $4,000. And again, that same parcel value for a like parcel or like property in the city of Sharonville is a little over $3,000. So we like to show everyone this because every portion of the county, every taxing district of the county has different tax policies, abatement policies, etc. And it really truly does depend on where you live in the county for what makes up your property tax bill. And I'll talk about this on a further slide, but something that we have done actually starting in the early 90s, to our former auditor's credit, the great Dusty Rhodes, who I hear is a resident here of Delhi Township. So Dusty in the early 90s had the vision to start what our website is today. And you will notice if you visit any of the other 87 county auditors' websites across the state, ours truly is the gold standard. So I give a lot of credit where credit is due to Dusty and that forward thinking and that innovation that he laid the groundwork for here in the county auditor's office. We get calls all of the time from folks in other counties giving us compliments on our website as compared to others. So I really, truly believe our website is the gold standard. And you can find this information that we have pulled on this slide on any of the 350,000 parcels in the county on the property summary page, which I'm sure most of you in this room are familiar with. But we have a pie graph, and we'll get into that here in a later slide. I want to talk a little bit about the reappraisal process, especially for those of you here in the township who get questions from constituents. We are looking at fair market values as prescribed by state statute arguably every year here in the county because we do permit work, we do new construction work for new developments across the county. But statutorily, we are required to do what's called a triennial and a mass appraisal. The triennial happens every 3 years, so the next triennial update is coming in 2026, next year. This is very much what we refer to as a desktop review. We are looking at comparable sales in any given area of the county to come up with those numbers that are sent to the state for approval. What we also do is the mass reappraisal, which happens every 6 years. This one is much, much more in depth. It is boots on the ground, our real estate appraisers out in the field appraising the values of everyone's homes, industrial properties, and commercial business properties as well. So we just went through the last mass reappraisal in 2023, so that next one will be in 2029. And here on this slide, it has laid out for you the next coming years so that you'll have that in your tool belt to be able to talk about that out in your respective community. With that, I want to talk about a very, very good announcement. I just got done praising Dusty and all of his wisdom for what our website once was. The website is still the same. All of the buttons are still there. You'll find everything as it was before. We have just updated the look, the feel, and a couple things that were federally required by law. For instance, in 2026, every government website has to be completely accessible. So you'll find now on our home page, we have a little accessibility button down in that left-hand corner. You can change our website to dyslexia font, many different types of color blindness, respective needs on there. So it is now fully compatible with federal law. And also we've added a translation tool. We have about 120,000 different people that visit our website on any given month, and they're about from 100 different countries. So the translation tool is very, very important for us to have that on there, and also goes along with making our website more accessible. And then, of course, my favorite part of the new homepage is we finally have a search bar. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but when you're looking for something and you can't find it, you can type it into that search bar and it will bring those words up everywhere it is mentioned on our website for a little bit, hopefully, of better accessibility. We have also updated the Board of Revision website on our website. One thing for me, when I was appointed to this office, I was appointed right in the heat of the Board of Revision season after the last mass reappraisal. So we had a lot of cases, a lot of questions from constituents, and I thought it was very, very important to update this page first. And what we have done actually is we have filmed a video series. So if you ever have any community members out here in the township that have questions about the Board of Revision process, what it looks like, what it is, what they need to be prepared, please refer them to this website and ask them to watch the videos. We've also, if you scroll down on this page, there's a bunch of Q&A, and my favorite little enhancement that we've put onto this web page is that when someone goes to print out a complaint form to file their Board of Revision case, there's a pop-up button that says, "Did you read the directions?" And you have to check yes or no. And it seems so simple, but it is so helpful to folks out there to help answer their questions about the Board of Revision process, because we, as your county auditor's office, can't give legal advice. So we do the best we can to help out our shared constituencies here in the Hamilton County, but you know, if you all can point folks to that page, that would be helpful as well, and we would appreciate it. Last thing about the website tools, you can, of course, visit our website, which is hamiltoncountyauditor.org, to search property and tax info many different ways. We even have an advanced search capability where you can pull up literally all of the parcels in the township and export that to an Excel spreadsheet. And then with that, I'm going to talk about my favorite portion of the property search page, which of course is this beautiful, colorful pie graph. Why is this important, you may ask? This is transparency and accountability in government in action. Why? Because this pie graph breaks down to the penny where every dollar of your property tax money is going. So you'll notice on all of the parcels here in Hamilton County, the largest portion of this pie graph is going to be the local school district. Why? Because school funding is still unconstitutional here in the great state of Ohio, and until we do something about that, that portion's always going to be the largest portion of that pie. But you'll notice there on every property it breaks it down for the various county levies, any levies you may have here in the township, from your school district, and every other respective place that is getting a piece of your property tax liability. And that is updated every year to reflect any new levy or any new tax change that may happen in your political subdivision. So love that portion of our website. That is very, very helpful for homeowners and business owners and the like to understand where their money is going. And we're very, very happy that we can provide that transparency in real time, live, in effect on our website. Okay, a little bit more about rental registration. I won't read this slide to you word for word, but yes, rental registration is a law here in Ohio, and yes, it is to be filed with your county auditor's office. We know and we understand that a lot of municipalities across the county are developing their own rental registration, and that's fine. Just please make sure if you do that, or if you've already done that here in Delhi Township, that they're also filing the state-required form with the county auditor's office, and you can contact us anytime. We do have a fee that we are allowed to assess if we find a property that has not complied to that state law. It is $150, but we like to try to work with people as much as we can before we get to the point of charging them a fee. So help us help you is my plea in the rental registration department. Send us all of the folks our way, and we'll make sure they get the proper paperwork filled out. All right, the homestead exemption. I mentioned this earlier on the first slide. There are about 3 to 5 pieces of legislation sitting at the State House right now that have to do with enhancing this homestead exemption in one way, shape, or form. I support all of those, and my plea to you here tonight is that we work as hard as we possibly can talking to our connections in the state capitol to make this homestead exemption better than it is currently. The homestead exemption as it is here in Ohio, you can see the qualifications there, 65 years of age and older. It does come with a gross income cap of $40,000. It does not include Social Security income, I might add. However, the homestead exemption here in the great state of Ohio did not used to come with an income cap. It used to be everyone 65 and older qualified, and back then, a lot more people were receiving valuable, instantaneous property tax relief. So I have been stumping ever since I've gotten into this office, and our County Auditors Association of Ohio has partnered with the County Commissioners Association as well as the Township Association to try and advocate and fight and stump for why it is important to update the homestead exemption. I don't have to tell any of you here in this room how important our senior citizens are to our communities. They are pillars in our communities, and if they choose to stay in their home, we should be working as hard as we can to make sure that they can afford to stay in their home and that their property tax liability is not a burden to that. So here we have created this graph for you to use and to look at, and hopefully contact your state lawmakers and state senator and even the governor now, who has created a property tax relief working group, and talk about these numbers right here. So in 2014, you can see that the average home value here in Hamilton County was a little over $150,000. Folks who qualified for the homestead exemption were getting a nice chunk of property tax relief, about $565. Cut to now, present day, 2024, home values have increased a lot because of this very good market we find ourselves in, yet that homestead exemption has increased less than 10%. So the homestead exemption is not getting that bang for its buck that it once was getting a decade ago, and there are ways in which we can enhance this and fix that through state policy to make sure that this is more valuable to folks who need the property tax relief now, which I'll cut to the chase, are our senior citizens, right? They are the ones on fixed incomes hurting the most from these increases across the board, and they need the relief now. So I urge you to help me, help you, and help our shared constituencies to contact your state rep, your state senator, the governor, whomever, to ask them to move those bills through committee that are working to make homestead exemption better in one way, shape, or form, whether that's indexing it for inflation, getting rid of the income limit or increasing the income limit, and so on and so forth. We have a couple different variations of how to attack this. The working group that the governor put together does have two of Hamilton County's finest public servants sitting on it, the Honorable Bill Seitz, the former Majority Floor Leader in the House, as well as the Honorable Denise Driehaus, our President of the County Commission. They have been diligently working and serving on the governor's property tax working group to try to find real solutions that provide real relief right now to Ohioans, and they are getting very, very close, knock on wood, to releasing their recommendations here in the next few days, and I am eagerly awaiting what those recommendations are and how those would affect our county and the rest of the state of Ohio and Ohioans. So let's hope it is what we need and it encompasses some kind of fix or enhancement for the homestead exemption. And then lastly here, just a slide for you on the owner occupancy credit. I know there's a lot of questions about both tax relief programs that we offer in the auditor's office, but please check your own parcel when you go home tonight. Check your family, friends, neighbors, anyone you know that lives here in Hamilton County. When you go and pull up any property on the property summary page, it will clearly tell you yes or no if it is a rental and has a rental registration on file, if you're getting the homestead exemption, or if you're getting the owner occupancy credit. If you ever find a property that is not getting one of those or is getting one of those programs and you think they shouldn't or should, please contact us and we will help you file the proper paperwork to get those where they need to be. But owner occupancy credit is a 2.5% credit off of your property tax bill, right off of the top if you live and own your primary home. And with that, I will just close by saying thank you again. Sorry to bore you at the beginning of your meeting, but I think this is important, right? Different levels of government coming together and finding the solutions and the policies that matter most to us and our shared constituencies to provide the necessary relief that we need now. And I'm happy to be here with you tonight. I'm very, very grateful that you gave me time on your agenda this evening. I think this is the 19th or 20th stop out of the 40-some that we're doing across the county, so you're right in the middle, so thanks for having us. We will diligently finish this tour. That way we make sure we're getting all of this information out to everybody who cares to hear it. And I'm very honored and privileged to serve you as your Hamilton County Auditor. One shameless plug I will make on this last slide is that you'll notice we're on 4 different social media platforms. This is the first time in county history that the county auditor's office has social media. So if you don't already, please go and follow us on social media. We know that in 2025, people get their news in many, many different ways, and social media is one of them, so we wanted to make sure that we're on as many platforms as possible to bring this information to the people as well. So with that, any questions, I'll be here to answer them, and thank you again for having me.
Jessica, thank you very much for being here, and thank you for having the welfare of our residents at heart. Obviously, the property tax is extremely important. And the residency in Delhi Township is very weighted to the senior side. So we're very anxious to see them well taken care of, and it sounds like you are as well. So
Yes.
Thank you very much for your time here. Do you have questions?
No questions. I just also want to thank you for being here and providing us with a lot of information, and hopefully all those watching at home, whatever, they've learned something. I know I've learned a little bit, and I do love the pie. I can't wait to go home and look at my pie.
Good, good. Well, like I said, any other questions, you feel free to contact us anytime.
Thank
We are
you
here
very
to
much.
serve. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you, Willow. Yeah.
Okay, we will return to the agenda for the evening, and we will begin with the department updates. And the first to go is Fire Department Chief Campbell.
We're going to do a quick motion to accept the voluntary resignation of part-time firefighter EMT Michael J. Borger, effective September 24th, 2025.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved.
Thank you,
Department
trustees.
update.
Yeah, I just wish Michael well. As of last week, he had been offered 2 conditional offers for full-time positions in 2 jurisdictions without ruining, I don't know which one he decided to go to, but due to his inability to fulfill his part-time obligations with Delhi Township, he has had to resign. So we hate to see him go. He served over a year and a half with us, and very proud of the service he provided our community during that period of time. If you have a few moments, I just want to update the board on some things going on in the fire department. So first and foremost, thank you to everybody that came out this past weekend. Saturday was a terrific event, much better attended than what we've seen for even our open house. We ran out of swag, so it wasn't just because people were greedy. We had a lot of people coming and going and stuff, and it's a real neat opportunity. It's a very relaxed environment, an opportunity to see up close, everything that they've invested in the department. Certainly one of the things that we have participated in over the years is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So you will see our firefighters wearing their awareness t-shirts throughout the month of October. No one fights alone. That's their theme. So you'll be seeing those represented within the fire department in October. Talk a little bit on the health and safety side as it regards to our firefighters. We're heavily into facing the firefighter epidemic, cancer epidemic, and a lot of our resources go towards prevention and making sure we're reducing the exposure to toxins and things like that just come along with the job. And just report to the board, we have applied for a $15,000 grant through BWC that would allow the fire department to acquire 3 gear dryers. This would totally complement our fire prevention program, allow us to wash the gear and dry it and speed up the process, about half the time it would take for it just to drip dry. Seems kind of silly to say it, but it's also antimicrobial. So we don't have to worry about mildew and mold growing in the gear. So we're looking forward to seeing if we are awarded that grant because that's going to help with the health and safety of our firefighters and their cancer prevention program. We just learned today we received a health and wellness grant from the Assistance to Firefighters program. That is a federal grant with matching funds. We were approved for $25,000. Our portion would be about $2,200. It'll allow us to train peer fitness counselors. This is travel, lodging, training them during that period of time, and the equipment associated with getting them up as peer fitness trainers for our health and wellness program. We currently contract out part of that responsibility to TriHealth. This would allow us to internalize this program and recapture all those costs that we normally would contract out to TriHealth. So sorry, TriHealth, we're going to take this one on our own. So look forward to seeing what we can do with this grant as well. And then finally, I had the opportunity to go down to Good Sam Hospital this afternoon. Mental health awareness. This is Suicide Prevention Month, and a big factor with first responders is certainly mental health crisis issues, where to get help, when to get help, recognizing that somebody needs help. And just lightly explain, Room 16 is a protocol that allows first responders confidentially to contact Good Samaritan Hospital, seek medical treatment in the event of a crisis, be evaluated, and most of all, because of our involvement in and around the hospitals, you don't want a firefighter or a police officer sitting on a gurney, sitting in the waiting room. We know a lot of the folks that are involved in those cases, and that really doesn't do anything to address the stigma. So Room 16 allows them to give basically a backdoor entrance to the facility. It's very discreet, it's confidential, and the first responders can be assured they're going to get quality care privately and not have to worry about the stigma and things associated with asking for help. So wonderful program. Look to partnering with the Tri-State Peer Support Team on working to connect firefighters in law enforcement in crisis and getting them the help they need. So that's all I have, unless you have any other questions.
Thank you very much. Sounds like you had a busy day today.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Trustee Sturts.
No, thank you. Great programs. Thank you.
All right, then, moving through the agenda. Next, I'll have Parks and Recreation, Director Suppi.
Afternoon. Just a couple updates as well. It looks like we're moving forward with our pickleball dividers and net shades. They are probably going to start next week. I got a confirmation today. So we're going to post out, just be aware there might be some downtime on the court while they're working. We'll let them know for sure the dates. And the shades will come after. It'll be outside of the realm of it, but I'm sure they'll close them down at that time point too, for safety of the residents. Along with that, we're getting a few projects moving forward. We have a few memorial trees we picked up this week. I think there was 4 of them. The crew planted 2 today, so we're knocking some out like we do in the spring and fall, so we'll get those finished. And I did purchase a few solar lights for the walkways down behind fields 1, 2, and 3 for the access to the dog park. While we have a lift on hand, we're going to access and put those up as well. And we ordered a few last-minute stuff for backstop netting. Stuff's just wearing out, so we ordered those things. And just a couple little updates. One last item. This Friday is our last day of fishing, free fishing. So for this year, and then we'll continue or see what we have to do next year, starting back up. So if you have any questions, let me know.
No.
Well, that was a very nice thank you event you had for your volunteers.
Yeah.
And thank you to the volunteers again, because it was a great year. The Floral Paradise looked wonderful. And we look really forward to having most of them back,
Yes.
hopefully, next year.
Yeah, they have a good crew up there right now, and I think most of them will come back. They enjoy it very much.
Great, great. Trustee Sturts?
No, same great crew.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Police Department, Chief Braun?
Thank you. I echo what everybody said about the Touch a Truck event. I just wanted to give a shout out. Obviously, thank people for coming, but I wanted to give a shout out to the 3 people from our department that organized everything. That was Corporal Gertie, Sergeant Goddard, and Lieutenant Meyer. So big thanks to them. I know we had more people at the event than just those 3, but they organized everything and made sure on the police department side that everything was taken care of. So thank them for that. Our town hall meeting last Thursday went very well. We had several judges, several police chiefs, and the prosecutor's office there. And we had a lot of residents there, and you always hope for more, but we obviously the questions kept coming for the whole time that we were there, for about an hour and a half or so, a little bit more than that. And we plan on having more. I know the next one's going to be downtown, and I'll make sure everybody knows where that's going to be. So thank you again for that, and thank you for letting us use the facility. I can't tell you how many people really love the facility, and Bob, I really thank you for helping us out with soft drinks. So Citizens Police Academy is going to be starting soon. We've got 22 people in the class, and we look forward to engaging them and teaching them what we do. So and just a brief shout out about kids, cops, and firefighters. Last week, the Attorney General put out an opinion about online sales of raffle tickets using Venmo and Cash App type applications, and we can no longer do that because it falls under the online gaming statute. So we had to, obviously, so if you go to the Kids, Cops, and Firefighters website, obviously we have to go by the rules, and we've shut down the Venmo purchasing of raffle tickets. And obviously, when we have events like the upcoming Mardi Gras event, we can still sell tickets using the Venmo because they're not actually buying tickets for a game of chance. So hopefully more comes out on that. Hopefully some case law comes out that gives us some better guidance. But right now we're shutting that down. And a shout out to DCPA, Dallas Citizens Police Association. They paid for all the goodies that were handed out at the Touch a Truck on Saturday. They paid for all the hot dogs, soft drinks, and ice cream, and a lot of things. So obviously they do a lot of fundraising, and a lot of people in the community obviously partake in that. So they paid for all that, and ended up being a couple $1,000s. So
Nice.
big shout out to them, and also a shout out to them because not every community has associations like that. We're blessed to have that, and they recently helped at the FBI National Academy Golf Outing in Fairfield Greens, helping out with volunteering there as well. So we get a lot of organizations asking us for their help, and we oblige, obviously. So thank you.
Nice.
I noticed your DCPA car at the touch truck. It was shiny and clean and wow.
It was, yes, yes.
So it was great, and thank you for all their volunteering that day, too. So,
Thank you.
Okay. Trustee Sturts?
No, thank you. But somebody did ask me why there were so many Delhi people at the FBI golf outing. So now we know. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Public Works, Director Rippinger?
Thank you, trustees. Let's
Were we
see.
in the rodeo?
Yes.
Oh, good.
I think I got a couple pictures up there. Our annual snowplow rodeo was the last couple mornings. Let's see, it's a training op we do every year. Kind of a reminder that winter's right around the corner. Better start getting your stuff ready. In 2 mornings, we had about 80 drivers as competitors in the trucks and about 25 operators. Hamilton County puts this event on as far as the truck rodeo, and then Delhi Township puts on the equipment operations side of it that the competitors really enjoyed. A lot of positive output, a lot of strategy discussed and stuff. So we don't have any first place or anything this year. We didn't do bad, but we didn't take any podiums. So there's always
Trophies this year?
What was that?
No trophies this year?
No, but we might get plenty of practice this winter, so we'll shoot for next year.
There you go.
Yeah, you can see the pictures. It was a good event.
Great.
Not to go on too much about the Touch a Truck, we don't do a whole lot of those events, but I want to thank the police for inviting us and taking lead on that. Our booth had a good turnout. Kids, we made it so the kids could kind of get in the skid steer and play around, and they really enjoyed it. So it went good.
Yeah,
it was
the construction hard hats were a hit.
Oh yeah, we ran out of them, but we made it almost to the end. So it's a good idea. Other than that, the Cleander Road closure, as right now, it's back open. We did have a couple calls, nothing too major, but the signs are still out, so I'm guessing they have to do some finish work. But
Right.
no updates on that.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions on any?
Trustee Sturts?
Yeah, thank you.
All
For
right.
everything.
Thank you very much, Ron. Okay, Marketing and Events Department, Bob Riesenberg.
Good evening. The Event Center had a booth at the Touch a Truck and had a lot of great interest in the Event Center. So it was a good opportunity to show off the building and to some of the new residents and some of the residents that haven't been here before. So thank you for that event. We're just planning for some of the upcoming fall events. The Harvest Hootenanny will have a booth set up at, and then we've got the movie night and trunk or treat. The events department will be set up at those events also, so looking forward to those. We also have the Christmas parade coming up, and we're in the planning stages for this year. The parade will be on December the 6th, so we're working on with the committee to make that successful, and the Holiday Family Fun Day afterwards, which is up here in the Event Center. We've got lots of fun activities and things going on, so something for every member of the family. Our arts program is doing great. She's got a lot of really good classes coming up for the fall and winter, so check that out on our website. And this is the final week for Chris Mallory's art display in the art gallery, so if you haven't seen it, come and visit it. It's a great display. Delhi Athletic Club is averaging about 273 check-ins per week, and as of today, we have 2,976 members to the club.
Okay.
We've got a couple of membership promotions going on, so it's a great time to check the club out. Visit Eric and Stacy at the athletic club's front desk. And that's all I've got this time.
All right, well, thank you.
Questions?
The events that we've had, I mean, both from the township and from the safety forum, have been very well received, and everyone seems to be comfortable with the space, so thank you for all you do to get those together. Trustee Sturts?
No, thank you.
Nothing? All right, thank you. Administration, then. That'd be you, Mr. Miller.
We have Resolution 2025-191 authorizing the issuance and the sale of not to exceed $2.6 million Township Public Infrastructure Improvement Limited Tax General Obligation Bonds, Series 2025, and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution. Is there any discussion on this resolution, Mr. Miller?
This is not additional bonds. We're taking the financed notes from last year and, issuing, doing a resale for bonds. We did a resolution at the last meeting. This is some clarification on that, some additional language from the attorney. So this language actually repeals the last meeting's resolution.
Okay.
So this isn't in addition to, it's a replacement of.
All right.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
Okay, I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2025-192 adopting a cybersecurity policy and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion on this resolution, Mr. Miller?
Yes, ma'am. So cybersecurity is something that we take very seriously. Cyber threats are, on the rise. The state is passing legislation on this. House Bill 96 did provide some requirements for all, actually all communities or political jurisdictions in Ohio. But there's a requirement that by June 30th of next year, all townships have a cybersecurity policy and have implemented all training and additional technology requirements. So we're ahead of the game. We're going to go ahead and pass our cybersecurity policy now. This will be in compliance with House Bill 96, which goes into effect September 30th. And we will be working over the next 9 months to ensure that we, all township staff and our officials have proper training, and all of this is fully implemented.
So we're actually ahead of the deadline of June for next year for townships, correct?
Well ahead, yes, ma'am.
Right.
We're on the bleeding edge of this.
Super.
And it's annual training. Every year we have to go to training, if I saw that correctly in the policy.
I don't want to speak on that just
Okay.
yet. A lot of that information is still coming out. It's certainly possible. There's been some fraud training requirements
Yeah.
and some other things that have been coming out as well. But like I said, we're 9 months ahead of this, so
Great.
a lot of this is all still playing out.
Okay.
But yes, there will certainly be training from, I believe it's Auditor of State, their office. So, yeah, it's all forthcoming.
Wow. Okay. I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes. Resolution passes. Administrator's report, Mr. Miller?
I won't get too long-winded here. It's budget season. We're swimming in numbers right now. I've been meeting with Melissa, with Fiscal Officer Luby, and we've started talking about that process with other department heads. So my goal is to basically have a draft proposed budget by the middle of October, submitted to the board, and From there, we can schedule our typical work session meetings so that we're going through everything line by line. The goal is to have a fully approved budget before the end of November. So we're on track for that right now. We're looking pretty good.
All right, thank you. Any questions, Trustee Sturts?
No, thank you.
All right, Community Development, Director Roach.
We have a motion to accept the voluntary resignation of Daniel F. Burke Jr. from the Zoning Commission effective September 24th, 2025.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you, Dan.
Good evening, everyone, Madam Trustees. Yeah, so Dan served on the Zoning Commission since around 2016. He was a very crucial role in several map amendments, text amendments in our zoning resolution. So he was a real asset. He'll be missed. So we're not rushed. We still have 4, we have to have 5, but we'll put their feelers out there and hopefully we can bring you some good candidates to review. Just a couple other little small updates if you have the time. So KFC is well underway for their renovation. Chief Campbell just told me this evening that he received the plans for all their new cooking equipment and hood suppression systems. So we don't have any dates yet, but it seems like they're well on their way to, getting open by the end of the year. And then just one other thing, down at Anderson Ferry Wraparound, that project has been delayed again. Once BP gave for the lane widening and turn lane extensions, once BP gave the approval, once they started digging, they found that the lines were not deep enough. So I think I was talking with Director Rippinger, and he said maybe a week or two delay in that project before you see any more activity down there as far as the lane widening down there. Other than that, that's all I have this evening, unless you would have questions for me.
I was asked by a couple of residents, I think I know what's going in there. I heard it was Marathon. They heard it's Sunoco. Has it changed?
The only thing we know is the C-store right now.
Okay.
I don't think they signed it. As far as we know, went back and forth. One plans we had Sunoco. One plan, when they submitted signs, they had Marathon. And talking with them, I don't think they've committed to any one at this time.
Okay, on our website it says Sunoco right now, just so you know. That's where they were confused.
I will have that removed.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll take a moment to thank Daniel Burke for his service, and he's been a great asset, and we understand his reasoning, but we will miss him, and thank you, Dan Burke. Okay, anything else? All right, then let's go to public comments. I have none, so we can go right into the announcement of community events. Let's be you, Mr. Miller.
That's me. I'm ready. Upcoming entertainment at the Lawn at Delhi Town Square. The Lawn Bar is open on Friday and Saturday from 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. Bring your lawn chair and join us for some cool drinks and great tunes. Upcoming bands start at 7 p.m. and include Saturday, September 27th, Mixtape. Sunday, September 28th, Madcap Education Center presents Rock Academy Westwood. This is an afternoon event, so the event starts at 3 p.m. Friday, October 3rd, we have Tumbling Dice. Saturday the 4th, we have Madcap Puppets, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Followed by a special Sunday, October 5th, of the Bronson Arroyo Band. And then Friday, October 10th, we have Bob Cushing, followed by September, October 11th, Fraser Goins. And then for our final, is this our final weekend in, no, it's not. I think we've got other events, but let's see here. So Friday, October 17th, we have the Danny Fraser Band, and then Saturday, October 18th, Out of Order. Thank you to our generous sponsors for supporting our concerts at Delhi Town Square. Our sponsors are Delhi Duncan, Seton High School, St. Dominic Athletic Association, Riverview Delhi Hills Kiwanis, Kruger Law, Duber's Carryout, Delhi Skyline Chili, James J. Luby CPA, and Robin Florist. It is the final week for our art exhibit of Chris Mallory, Postcards from the Past. This closes on September 30th. It is open during weekdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on evenings and weekends by appointment. Again, this is at at the Delhi Township Event Center on the second floor at our art gallery. Stop by our art gallery and enjoy Chris's exhibit inspired by his ancestral home in the Catskill Mountains. Delhi Post-Acute is hosting their fall festival Saturday, October 4th, running from 1 till 4 p.m. Again, this is at Delhi Post-Acute at 5999 Bender Road. There you can enjoy food, raffle prizes, bounce house, and fall photo shoots. Saturday, October 4th, Walt Sweeney Ford is hosting the 5K walk run supporting the Delhi Skirt Game. This begins at 9 a.m. At the Delhi Park on Foley Road. Register at runsignup.com. Search for Find a Race, and in there type Walt Sweeney Ford. Adults 18 and up are $25. Children 6 to 17 are $20. Come out and support our community while getting some exercise. Finally, our fall festivities, we have the Harvest Hootenanny, Saturday, October 11th, going from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at Storywoods Park on Pontius Road. Bring the whole family to enjoy a pumpkin patch, face painting, petting zoo, local crafters and vendors with food and refreshments. Delhi Radio Drama Theater, Dare to Be in Sleepy Hollow, is Saturday, October 18th at 1 p.m. Right here in the Delhi Event Center. It is $10 a ticket. Register at Delhi Event Center's website. That's delhieventcenter.com. And then finally, we have a two-day event, the Halloween Bonanza at Delhi Town Square. Friday, October 24th, we have movie night starting at 6:30 p.m. Bring your blankets and chairs for a special showing of The Nightmare Before Christmas. And then Saturday, October 25th, we have Trunk or Treat from 11 to 3 p.m. Come in costume for a day of trunk or treating, costume contest, face painting, children's activities, and more. And sorry, I didn't realize that was on
Same
one page. Yep.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Miller. We do not have reason for executive session this evening. So if I could have a motion to adjourn.
With no further business to become before the board, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. The meeting is adjourned, but we will see you all back here on October the 8th at 6 o'clock. Have a safe week.